Thank you very much for another opportunity. My name is Crossover. I come on your way another time for configuration of server and router. Let's see how the server can distribute an IP address to the router. We have BFSRVDC1 here, then we have router 1 also here. Later on, I will configure 2 routers, 3 routers, and 4 routers, and we'll keep on going. We have an IP address like this. Let's see whether we can give an IP address to an interface of GIJ 0/0. This one is a new configuration, but be attentive and listen, and let's write the both together. Thank you very much. Now on the server, let's configure this IP address on the server, and let's see what we can do. Double click on the server, then go straight to desktop. Then go straight to IP configuration. Let's assign an IP address like what we have over there, 192.168.10.201. The subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. Then the default gateway. Let's see what we can do. The default gateway we are going to give is 192.168.10.1. Then the DNS IP address, we have to type the same DNS IP address. So 192.168.10.201. Now, after configuring the server, it's time now for us to save the server as a DHCP. So this one is going to be our DHCP server. So let's put it across DHCP server. Okay, then we are going to do this one as DHCP router client. It's impossible, but at least let us try our best and see what we are about to do. Okay, for a server to assign an IP address to the router, fine. As we are inside the server, let's go to services. Then on services, you will see we have DHCP here. Already DHCP is off. The same thing when you are installing a server for a company or you are installing a server, DHCP is one of the features. It's dynamic host configuration protocol, distributing IP address automatically to a client machine on our corporate network. So if you install a server, we have varieties of servers. We have server 2000, server 2003, server 2008, server 2012. We have server 2016. We have server 2019, and we have server 2022 now. So if you want to configure a DHCP, make sure that a DHCP is dynamic host configuration protocol. So the server is going to host all our IP address, and in our network, the server is the one that is going to distribute IP address to our client machine. But here we don't have a client machine, but rather we have a router. We want the server to distribute an IP address to the router. So let's see the outcome of it. So for us to configure the DHCP, we have to install the DHCP. But on the packet tracer, the DHCP already is off. So I want you to click on the service. After clicking on the service, remember that when we are configuring the DHCP server, we have the gateway. We have the gateway as 192.168.10.1. That is for the gateway, if you can remember. Okay, so we have the gateway. Let's clear this one and put a gateway there. So 192.168.10.1. Then the DNS. Press the tab key to send you to the DNS server side. 192.168.10.201. Now, when you look at this point, we have start IP address. We are starting the IP address, not 0, but let's put, we are starting IP address of maybe 150, the subnet mask is there. The maximum number of users is 252. That is 512. But 512, let's forget about it, and they have to give a nodes. A nodes are devices connected to the internet. But we have only one device, which is the router over there. But we will end up connecting another devices to it as well. So we are going to put maybe let's put it across 50 number of users that you are going to. Don't click add, but save it. When you have something like this, we have saved it. Fine. Perfect. Let's go. Okay, so let's go on. It's good. Let's close this one. Now it's time for us to configure the router. Let's go straight. Click on the end devices. Click on the laptop. Then go straight to connection. Then let's choose the console cable. Click on the console cable. Connect to the router console. Now we are going to enter inside the router. So click on the PC. Let me go this way rather. Click on the PC. Okay, click on the PC. Let's go to desktop and click on terminal. Straight to OK. Now enter, then choose no. Now we don't have the router name, so we are in the user mode. Type EN and press the tab key for enable. Then type config, then press the config, then press the tab key and the terminal, press it and enter. You find yourself in what? Router config. So we have to give the router name as it shows over here as what? Router 1. So let's type host name, then we put router 1. You can see that it has changed. Now let's give the router dig 0/0 a default IP address, which means we are going to make sure that the dig 0/0 can get IP address from the server based on what? DHCP services. Okay, so let's enter. Type int dig 0/0, enter. Then type IP address, then the question tag. This is we have DHCP here. Check, we have DHCP. See, it said IP address negotiated via DHCP. It tells you clear, which means that you want the router to negotiate an IP address with the server, to negotiate an IP address with the server, to negotiate an IP address with the server. Excellent. So let's put the HCP, enter. When you press the tab key like this, the CR over here tells you carrier. Enter. Type no shutdown, press the tab key, then enter. The line is up. Let's try it and see whether the server has given an IP address to the router. Okay? Okay. So let's type exit and type exit again. If you are inside an interface from configuration mode, you can type end like this. Let me show you. int config t, then int gid 0/0. You see, it's a giga assigned DHCP address. Wow, can you see it? It shows, look, it's a DHCP address assigned. Interface giga ethernet 0/0 assigned DHCP address of this, which is starting from what? 50. Wow. It tells you that it has assigned. So MAC is this. Hostname is router. It has assigned. So the server has assigned an IP address to the router. Now what I'm talking about, let's go there. Now for me to go and check, I have to type end. So if I type end, it goes straight to the privilege than me typing exit. I type exit here. Then I have to come to the configuration mode because I'm coming out from the interface to the configuration mode. Before I'll type the exit again, then I'll come straight to the privilege mode. But when you type end, it takes you straight to what? The privilege mode. So you have to type show IP interface brief, then you enter. Now, our IP address has been shown. Our IP address, that is the router, has been assigned an IP address to the network. Fine. Let's see what we can do. Hmm? Let's see what we can do. Now, on the router, on the server, go to desktop, command prompt, then let's ping. It has assigned an IP address to the router. When you put the mouse on it like this, you will see that truly it has assigned. Meanwhile, we haven't assigned an IP address. We only type IP address DHCP. And so wonderful. So please check this. It's also part of the configuration. Let's go to the server and ping. So I am PI, that is a PING 192.168.10.150. The ping takes an effect. Now, let's see how we can also bring another switch. Okay, let me put this one here. Let me put this one here and put this one here like this. So crossover, what about if two routers? If two routers has been given an IP address, then it means that we need a switch. So let's put a switch over here. Let's put a switch over here. And let's put one PC down here. Let me draw this one to this side. Let me put one PC down here. Now I'll remove this one, then I'll connect to the switch. Then I'll also connect the router. I'll also connect the switch. And let's see. So this one will be Kwame PC. So let's look at how it's going to distribute. Now, the listening port will turn to green, which is forwarding. Okay, the router is on as 10, but yet still it stands. You see that there is nothing shows there. Check it. You see, it said the state have been set not. Though it's showing, so we have to go and make sure that we give. Let's say this one to nothing, but go inside the client machine, go to desktop, go to IP configuration, click on the DHCP. Is that it will assign an IP address. Bear in mind, it has already assigned an IP address of 150. So any machine that comes, the server will distribute it to it as what? 151, because we already informed the server that it should distribute an IP, at least it has come back. It should distribute an IP address to a various machine. So this is how we set a router as a DHCP client, and we can stand on this PC and ping because already it has been assigned an IP address. So let's stand on the PC and see whether we can ping the router. We can ping the router 192.168.10.15. Enter. You see? You see? That's a sign. Marvelous. Wonderful. Wonderful. It's pinging. You can see that it's pinging. Please try as much as you can and make sure that your pinging to the router is successful. Now let's see whether we can also ping the server. The server is 201. The server is 201. Let's check. If true list, yes, it's 201. You can check it here. Let's enter. Yes, the server tool is responding. It's good. It's good. But I want us to check something. Now, let's go to the web. Let's go to the web. Let's go to the web browser. We are standing on Kwame's PC and we are on the web browser. So let's go to the web browser. Let's go to the web browser. Okay, on the web browser, we have to type the IP address, so 192.168.10.201, and let's see what will happen. Okay, it's getting the Cisco packet tracer on the DHCP server as a web server. So we are using an IP address, but I don't want us to use an IP address. So we are going to the server to configure one or two things to see, because if I want to configure a website, I'm not supposed to open the website with an IP address. I rather have to open it with a domain name. A domain name, a domain, not an IP address. We have facebook.com, we have yahoo.com. Behind yahoo.com, there are IP address that liaise to their domain name. If you are called Kwame, bear in mind that you were once called firstborn. So you are firstborn, which means you are number one. So they won't call you number one, but rather they will call your name. So they name you Kwame to replace number one. So let's try this and see what we can do. Okay, let's go straight to the server. Let's go straight to the server. Okay, so we are inside the server. We are inside the server. Let's go to services. Then on services, we have HTTP. HTTP stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Hypertext Markup Language. Hypertext. HTTP is hypertext. Hypertext protocol. Sorry, that is HTTP. Sorry, attend to one or two things. So, hypertext transfer protocol. Huh? Yes, hypertext transfer protocol. That is for the HTTP. Later, I was saying in the hypertext markup language, which is the HTML. Sorry, so it's hypertext transfer protocol. Now, double click on the index. Click on edit, edit. Click on edit. In between this, clear this one. Clear this one, and let's type Big Firm Company Limited. Then let's change the color to be red. Let's change it to be red. Let us increase it to 5. That is the font size. Then you have, you can highlight, you can click here and highlight it up to this side. Right click and copy, then just highlight this one. Clear it. Then press on Ctrl V to paste it. Okay, and save. Choose yes. Now, since we have done that, let's go back to the Kwame's PC again and see something. Let's go back to Kwame's PC again and click on the web browser. So after clicking on the web browser, we are going to type an IP address again. And earlier on, I told you that we are not supposed to type an IP address. We have to type the domain name. So 192.168. You see, what I went and edit is what has changed. So the Big Firm Company Limited. Okay, let's close. Now, let's configure the server so that we won't type the IP address again, but rather we will type the domain name. Go to the server, the services, then you go to DNS. DNS is off. It's dynamic domain name services. Sorry, the DNS is domain name services, or sometimes people call it domain name server. Click on, click on, click on, then type bigfirm.com, and you must have an IP address of it, 192.168.10.201. Add it. Then let's put an IP address of the client machine as a host to it. And the client machine, the host name is Kwame PC. And the IP address, you know that the automatic IP address is 151. So 192.168.10.151. Add it. Let's go and check it on the client machine. You see, it's 10.151. Okay, so we have the domain name bigfirm.com as we have already created it here. Let us now see what we can do. Now we have a server name, and the server name also is bfsrvdc1. So we have to now type the host name, which is bfsrvdc1, then 192.168.10.201. Add it. Let's now close this one and go straight to the Kwame's PC and see what we can do. Okay, so on Kwame's PC, let's see what is up for us to do. Previous, we type an IP address. Now we are not going to type an IP address, but rather we are going to type the domain name. Okay, so now bigfirm.com. Bigfirm.com. Sorry, I put comma there instead of full stop. I put comma. Yes. So we are good to go. We are good to go. We are good to go. Thank you very much for a nice configuration. Please try your best and do exactly what I did and give me a comment. Try your best, and I know that you can. You can connect 3 machines. Okay, let me give you one example. Now I'm going to add a router. I'm going to add a router. So let me add a router. Let me add a router like this. I'm going to name it router 2. Then I'm going to connect this one to this. I want to see this router being assigned an IP address by the server. You know how this one is already having its own IP address, 10.150. This one, there is no IP address assigned, neither the port has been what? Configured in no shutdown. So please, thank you very much. I will come back and continue. If you have already finished yours, then you give me the thumb. And if it pings and you are through, then you have to flow with me. Thank you very much for another opportunity. My name. Don't forget to subscribe and also share so that another person, somebody up there, somebody far air, not near, can also have opportunity to listen to CCNA. Once again, my name is Crossover. Thank you.